Have you ever looked around and realized that the opportunities you've been waiting for just aren't coming? What if the reason you feel stuck isn't because there is no path, but because you're meant to create one? Hey family, welcome back to Good Talk with Tiffany Santana, where we have good talk with great people who help us live our best lives. Today's guest is my friend, George Worrell, a stylist, a media personality, and a creative visionary who I call a path maker. He's built an incredible career by believing in himself even when others didn't, by taking initiative, building relationships, and turning passion into purpose. In this episode, George opens up about resilience, about reinvention, and about trusting the process even when it seems like nothing's working. So settle in. This one is going to help you see your potential in a whole new light. Make sure to subscribe, share, like, and comment. And don't forget to check the show notes for this episode's Good Talk Takeaway Guide. I'm excited for you to enjoy this episode. George Worrell.
Yes.
My friend.
My friend.
Thank you so much for being on Good Talk with Tiffany Santana.
I am honored. And, I followed you on Instagram and social media. We originally met at a studio some years ago promoting our platforms. And it's so good to see that you have a show. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. You've been such an inspiration to me over the years with all the things that you've done in media. So you always give me that extra push.
Oh, that's very sweet of you
from
to say.
afar. So I thank you so much.
Oh.
I want to dive right in. I spoke to you the other day about some of the things that I've observed about you and some of the things I've admired about you. And the word that I came to was path maker. I think you're a path maker, and I look at a path maker as someone who doesn't wait for opportunities to come to him. You create your own paths, and I love that about you. And I wanted to talk to you about that and share that with our viewers and our listeners, because I think in this time and season, it's so important to give people encouragement and inspiration to be able to chart their own path and take control of their own lives. So I want to ask you, what does it mean for you to be a path maker?
Honestly, I've never thought about it in that way. What I know is that the things that I loved, when I finally found the things that I loved and felt were good at, the passions, the opportunities for me were not there, right? Or someone else would see your talent, utilize it. I wasn't in the position mentally to have that faith in myself to say that I could do it and would do it, right?
Yeah.
And so many years after that, then I thought, if the years that you're going on to do TV and radio, like I would do these guest spots and but nobody would hire me. So I was like, okay, then I need to create my own. And I never gave it a second thought. And that's also the belief in myself. Because many times I had to believe in myself still to today when others don't. And my faith, my trust in God and that it's going to work out, somehow.
I'm so curious because I think we're cut from similar cloths. When you looked around at the things that you wanted to do and you either saw that there weren't many opportunities for you or
there were none.
What made you keep going? What made you say, I still love this, I still want to do it, I'm going to keep going? Hey family, are you tired of overthinking your words or second guessing yourself every time you speak? Are you worn out from trying to sound confident but still feeling unsure and unseen? It's time to find your voice and your power. Join me for the Confident Communicator Challenge for Women. In just 5 days, you'll learn how to speak with clarity, confidence, and authority in every conversation and presentation. You'll stop striving for perfection and start speaking from a place of strength and assurance. Register now at tiffanydsantana.com/events or click the link in the show notes. Your most powerful voice is waiting to be heard. Let's unlock it together. Back to the pod.
I just felt that I couldn't do anything else. Like I, there was a show called The Actors Studio, James Lipton, and I'm not an actor, but I think that I'm in the arts, and between fashion and lifestyle and those kinds of things. But if you'll hear most people when they're talking about artistry and different things like that, they will say, I couldn't see doing anything else. Like you'll do things to fund your dreams. Like I moved to New York and I knew that I needed to have my days and mornings off so that I could go and do radio and TV. So I took a job at Marshall's overnight stocking shelves. And so, yes, you fund your dreams, but you have in your mind, you're doing it for the dream and that this is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of helped somewhat.
I love that. That's so good. So you've styled, you've consulted, you've hosted TV and radio, you've planned massive events. When you look back, what was the moment that you realized that people aren't going to just hand things to me and I just have to create some opportunities for myself?
I kind of knew that from the beginning. Like there were opportunities, but the opportunities were for someone else, for me to showcase my stuff for something else. But also sometimes you had to take it. Like I remember planning a high profile baby shower and I wasn't getting paid for it because some things you have to know too that you can do in kind. And I knew the association, politically and, whatever would pay off at the end. But I had to call the media and get my photographer and do all of these things to promote that I was doing it because that person was not going to do that. And it wasn't out of, meanness or anything, but it is what it is. If you don't take the initiative, I felt, to take, nothing was really given. And I say that with all earnest. There were opportunities, I had to take them. I had to seize them because they were not given in many instances. And even now, I still pitch myself. I don't have anybody to pitch me. I write my thing, send it, but you develop relationships along the way too. So, and I'm apt to do a favor. I remember there was a political woman, Deborah Kearney. She said, George, she's from Boston. She said, George, she said, always do a favor. Try to do a favor. And she says, when you need one, it's less likely that that person or the people will say no instead of always asking. So I found that to be, not so much about the end result of it, but why not?
Right.
Why not help somebody? Why not open a door? Because I had to kick them open or see that. If I made a contact. I remember my first segment on NBC, and it was a client who knew the person who was at NBC. And she said, George would be quite lovely for, this type of, this lifestyle. And I was like, oh, yeah. But I didn't know anything, but I went. And I remember Michelle Wright told me that. She's like, try not to turn down anything. If you can't do it, hire somebody that can, right? So I went and, I was a little nervous and stuff, but I knew it was my passion. I knew it was something that I wanted to do. But I learned that I needed to befriend the people behind the camera because they were going to teach me the angles. They were going to teach me where to look. They were going to make me look better, all of those kinds of things. But also, too, it was fun. It's fun. I just can't see myself not talking or interviewing or, I'm curious. And also the eye for, the fashion piece and the lifestyle, but the conversation, what we're doing now, that hopefully someone will have that aha moment. The aha moment is when you're talking about something and that person is in the kitchen cooking or they're sitting and you say something, you're like, yeah, maybe I can do that. Because I've had it. Joan Rivers used to say that. She would look at a movie or she would look at something. She's like, I can do that.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And it's something that I've lived by, building those relationships. I was taught at such a young age by my grandfather, actually. He was born in 1905, had a fifth grade education, one of the most brilliant people I knew, but taught us the value of relationships, that relationships are everything. And when you can start building those relationships, one of my coaches says, free can lead to a fee. So doing favors for people, helping people out, and learning those opportunities to get in the room with the right people. Like you said, learning the people that run the engine is so important. I think people underestimate the value of just getting yourself in a space where you can see what's going on, where you can observe, where you can find out who makes things tick. So, and taking all that to build opportunities to provide aha moments for other people. I love that moment when I'm watching something or listening to something and I can grab something to implement today. There's nothing like that for me. Well,
Yeah. But also too, don't be afraid of failure. I don't even call it failure. When things don't work out, I've learned more from, because it's not wasting your time. I'd rather you tell something didn't work out, or, I would do events. And I remember right after 9/11, I planned a Halloween party and nobody came.
Wow. Nobody?
Nobody. So the people that were helping me, we gave the food to the homeless.
Wow. Maybe that's what it was for.
Maybe that's what it was for. But I also say too, I remember I had a family member who used to say, if I had it to do over again, I would do this. And I said to myself, I never want to say that. So I always say, if it was meant to be, it would have happened.
Definitely.
If it wasn't, it didn't. And that was just for me, because I know my mind can take me someplace that I really don't want to go, and it'll keep me down. And, I'm a recovering alcoholic of 30 years. And one of the things when I first got clean that we talked about was the committee, which is in my head. Nothing starts until you think about it. And your mind sometimes will say, oh, you should do that. That's not really good. She doesn't like you. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. All these negative things. And you have to combat them.
Yes.
In your mind, because that's definitely not, what the situation is all the time. Sometimes it is, but you have to figure out it has nothing to do with me. What you feel or say about me has nothing to do with me.
That's right.
Yeah. But it took a long time to get there.
It takes a while to get there, and it takes work. It doesn't just happen by osmosis. It takes intentionality. It takes doing the work of replacing those negative thoughts with positive thoughts, for sure. In your memoir, and I love the things that you produce. They're just beautiful. And everything that you do is so tasteful and so heartfelt.
Oh, my parents would be happy to hear that. They did a good job.
We'll let them know.
Yeah.
You talk about your journey from hardship to where you are now. What role do you believe resilience played in your journey?
Everything. And don't think I didn't think about giving up. How does the song sing? And throwing in the towel. And still doing some instances. But just before I felt I was going down for the last time, something, and I'm a believer, grabbed the arm and an opportunity out of nowhere. And not just sometime, all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't profess, whatever your belief system is, whatever is spirituality, God, or whatever, Buddha, whatever, I believe that you should believe in something and yourself. Because I'm not going to always be able to call you. I can't call my mother all the time. I can't, whatever it is, I'm not going to be able to do it. And you're going to have to believe and trust in something else that's greater than yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what's worked for me. And, through tears. But you know what? Also, too, everything that has been something that has been hard has made me strong.
Yes.
Where I would, you just rebound. You just figure it out. What's next? But also, too, that circle that you have around you. You have to be very, very mindful of who is around you and why.
Absolutely.
Family or foe.
Absolutely.
And that's a learning curve, discernment. My grandmother used to call it your first mind. Your first mind, your gut will never ever lead you wrong. Where I've gone wrong is when I've second guessed myself.
Mm-hmm.
My mind said, don't go that way. And then the second, oh, you know what? I think I am going to go that way. And then something happens. But I had that warning. But,
That's so good. My pastor, who's also my coach,
Okay.
wrote a book called Relational Intelligence. And it was so revolutionary for me because in that book, it talks about where to categorize people in your life and figuring out who that circle is, who's a real friend, or who is in your life that you are supposed to mentor, or who's in your life that's supposed to mentor you, or who's just an associate, or who shouldn't be here at all. And really thinking critically about who's in my circle and for what, because not everybody is supposed to fulfill every role. And that has been really helpful to me too, making sure that I'm clear on who's in my inner circle, what role they play in that circle, and really having people around you that encourage you and that cheer you and push you forward and tell you the truth.
Yeah, tell you the truth. I mean, I grew up, I'm an only child, but my father is from a family of 16. My mother's from a family of 6. And there were rules. Like there were, my parents, the only people that came to our house was family. No men came to our house. Like just like people that my father worked with and stuff, they didn't come to the house. My mother had 2 friends, Miss Edwards and Miss Howard, and they came every now and again. The only people that came to our house was family, my aunts and my cousins and stuff. We would visit because we lived in Atlantic City near the shore, so our family would come down. I had friends that we would visit. It was close knit and it was very trusting. As I got older, I knew a lot of people, but I kept that same premise. Very few people come to my home. And I know who it is. I've had long-term friendships for 30 years. You meet new people, but it's not where people come to you. It's that closeness.
Yeah.
Because it's different. And what do you want? Because everybody wants something. I want something. You want something. But what is it? Is it genuine? Like, be straight up about it. And there are people that will come and see your talent, right? And they'll say, you know what? I'm going to latch on because I have this dream and through them, I can get it. But they want to do it the sneaky way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like instead of just saying, hey, I like what you do. This is what I want to do. And then I determine or you determine how you want to help or if you want to help.
Right.
Because I guarantee you this, when you do it the sneaky way, it never works out.
Never.
You never get what you thought you wanted. You will put into it, you will sow into it and think, oh, I got this going, oh, it's so nice. Oh, I'm going to loan him money. Oh, I'm going to give him something. Oh, I'm going to do something for her. But in the end result, if your way of thinking and what you want was dishonest and deceptive, I guarantee you, George Worrell said at 63 years old, it will not work out.
It won't work.
For your good.
It won't.
I'm telling you. And guess what? I've never had to say anything about it. And I see it and I see it coming because wisdom with age.
Yes.
I see it. When I talk to somebody, this is what I need. This is what I want. Sometimes I feel like I'm asking too much but I'm straight up. You have the option to say no.
Absolutely.
But coming in the back door and trying to be, slick, it's not going to work.
It never works. And when you are open in the front, you can decide on the collaboration. You can build together. You can decide, hey, I'm doing this for charity and I just want to help you out and I don't need anything in return.
Exactly.
You would be so surprised, and you shouldn't be. But when you're honest with people and you say, hey, I need this opportunity or I need this thing, how can you support me or how can you help me? And people will come up with things that you didn't even think about when you're honest, when you're straightforward.
But also, too, when you're not threatened.
That's right.
Because I'm in an industry, and I don't know what industry now is. It used to be different industries. People were competitive, but every industry now is. I've I believe that nobody does what I do the way that I do it.
That's right.
Nobody does what you do the way you do. You know, I always give the analogy about frying chicken. I fry really good chicken, but I cannot fry it the way my grandmother fried it.
Yes.
So there's room for all of us. And why not give somebody who's just starting, if they're good, here's the producer's name. I think this person is good. This person, you know, and it's up to them to say yes, or once that door is open, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
When somebody recommends you something, you know, oh, I was tired, I didn't know. Oh, was it that day? Oh, you know, I didn't like it. There's no room for excuses. So, yeah.
I love that. And I'm a big advocate for preparation,
Yeah.
making sure that when the opportunity presents itself, that you don't have to fumble around to figure it out.
Yeah, and you know, I have to remind myself of that too sometimes, because when you're doing a lot, and I remember I was telling our director yesterday, Cassandra, because I work around a lot of women, and my focus has been in my career, women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just worked for me. Like, you know, my father has been very supportive, my lawyer, Bishop Owens. There have been some men, but throughout my career, it's always been women. My business has always been in tune to women, because I've always felt that women were more in tune to what was going on and being able to multitask and do more things, and were more honest about a yes or no answer.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, not all men, but I've just found that women were quick decision makers, because I felt in different industries it was harder.
Mm-hmm.
And especially being a woman of color, or just being a woman, it was very hard. So they had to be better. They had to be stronger.
Yes.
Do you understand? So that has always been a directive and a passion for mine. So most of my crew, except for Chaz, there's a woman there somewhere in the decision making. Antonia, that's how we started our show. She was the person who filmed me, because it started on my phone. But I look at that, and then I say, okay, where is this going? My mother, you know, the wisdom that she gives me. And my parents are funny, naturally funny. And so that's been the foundation for me. And it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
This is not easy.
Yeah.
The things in your head, the things that are going out there, we're in a political city, all those things that are coming at you that don't want you to succeed. And the enemies.
The frenemies.
The frenemies, yeah. But that's where your faith and knowing in yourself that this doesn't have anything to do with me,
Mm-hmm.
and that your gifts will make room for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What are 3 things that a man or woman can do or should do to look like they belong in the room? I think sometimes people have to cultivate their own courage to go into these spaces. But as someone who has made opportunities in a lot of different environments, how do you show up just very practically? What do you do?
It's so fun. So I have a curriculum, and it's called the 3 Phases of Style. So when I started my company, I had to figure out what makes me different than the person that's doing the same thing that I'm doing, right? And I figured out, getting into the fashion game, that nobody, as an alcoholic some 30 years ago, I put my clothes on. I was wearing Ralph Lauren designer clothes, but on the inside I felt like crap. Or then when I looked at myself in the mirror, my skin and all those kinds of things, hair and all that kind of stuff was messed up. So I always suggest inner. What's going on with you? Are you writing? Are you seeing a therapist? I have a therapy appointment tomorrow. All of those things, you guard yourself on the inside first. Then hair, skin, teeth, then your clothes. Your clothes are last, right? Even if you have the same outfit, the outfits that you choose, you should have 3 looks for it, man or woman. But you have something that you've invested in, right? You come in, you're poised. I remember when I took the job at Saks in New York. Oh, jeez, I didn't like that job. I just felt that, and it's a great company, but I just felt that there was a hierarchy, and the people, there were workers, and then there were people who made the decisions. And the workers were not people who looked like us making those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And we were running up and down steps and, just all of these kinds of things for a small amount of money. But when I went on that interview, I had read enough. I'm a history major. This woman that was interviewing me had a fascination with Jacqueline Kennedy. And I knew about it. So I tapped into what she liked and what she wanted to talk about. She put me on the best floor that made the most money because she felt that if I could talk to her and win her over, I was going to do the same for the clients that came to Saks.
That's so good. And that goes back to building those relationships.
Yeah.
And you do that sometimes by researching
Yeah.
and figuring out what people
like. But there were two things as I think about it. I didn't promote Saks.
Mm-hmm.
I promoted George Worrell.
Mm-hmm.
But so there are two things you're looking for. So when you're hiring, you're looking for someone that's going to promote your brand.
Mm-hmm.
You may not. So if you hire me, yes, I'm going to promote your brand. But for that instance, I promoted me. Like I'm the person that, like somebody says, how does this look? What do you think? Oh, yes. I didn't give out their card. I gave out my card.
Okay.
Because I knew I was passing through.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different segments of what people can think about what they do. There are people that says, yes, I just want to represent you. And, I can be that for a fee. Or there are people that say, hey, I'm here. I'm doing the job. But outside of that, I'm promoting me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
that's so good. And making those opportunities for yourself. All right. As we close, I want to leave our listeners, viewers, with something they can take away. And I also want to ask you what you're working on right now, because you're doing some really cool stuff right now. But for someone who feels stuck, and I know that in this environment, there are people who are losing their jobs. They thought they had a good government job that was lasting for 30 years, and now that's not a reality for them. There are people who are in life transitions, and they just feel like things aren't happening for them. So what would you tell someone to do? One practical small step that they can do this week to create an opportunity for themselves.
Get in a space that is quiet. Figure out what you love, what you would do for free. There were things like I would cook for free, I would plan an event for free, and I would buy clothes for free. And I would talk for free. Whatever you do on the side that you love is what is going to bring you money, right? And for me, I'm paraphrasing. There's a doctor. Her name is Dr. Susie Owens. And I'm paraphrasing. She has a mantra. It says, some trust in horses and some trust in chariots. She trusts in the name of the Lord, yes. And so do I.
Yes.
Right? So you're going to have to trust in something. I'm not telling you who, what, where, when. But for me, it starts and ends with you. If you look at your passions about what you would do without getting paid, and you're good at it, right? Baking cakes, pies, something, right? Figure it out. It's there. Like I figure stuff out on my sofa watching an old movie or going to my Tumblr page and look at something that inspires you. My Tumblr page inspires me when I'm looking at different designs, not clothing so much, but designs for homes or things like that. I'm like, oh, and figure out how you can do what you see with a twist.
I love that. All right, tell us what you're working on. I am a big fan of Neighborhood Favorites.
That is so kind. Thank you.
And we need it right
that.
now.
Yeah.
We need things that celebrate our city, Washington, D.C. So tell me a little bit about.
So it's Neighborhood Favorites. We're in our second season on WHUT PBS. We feature small businesses in the DMV, starting in DC. And what I figured was that the media does not cover small businesses. You hear about when they open and when they close. So we go in, we don't charge them. We feature them. They're like my neighborhood favorites. What we're doing now, why did you start the business? What do you offer? What are the pitfalls? How hard is it? What would you tell somebody that's watching about starting a business? And we have fun. I like going to restaurants because they feed us.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm having fun with that. And with the podcast Inside Style, which is on dcradio.gov. And it's on Spotify, I think SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. So it's just talking. And soon we're going to be, so out there listeners, I'm going to have my phone and I'm going to be coming up to couples or friends. And I want to know how you met. So there's a lot of things that we're doing. Oh, and celebrating my 30-year anniversary, I'm talking about the depths of getting clean and that road there. And I'm very excited about that.
So good.
Yeah.
I love that everything that you touch has that element of caring for people and making sure that others are okay. And I appreciate that so much.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Thank you.
So thank you very much, my friend George Worrell, for being here on Good Talk with Tiffany Santana. I hope that you'll be able to come back.
I will, and I'll bring some chicken wings fried well.
Yes, I want them.
Sweet tea, yeah.
Look, when you talk food, you're talking about language. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you.
Hey, family. Are you tired of overthinking your words or second guessing yourself every time you speak? Are you worn out from trying to sound confident but still feeling unsure and unseen? It's time to find your voice and your power. Join me for the Confident Communicator Challenge for Women. In just 5 days, you'll learn how to speak with clarity, confidence, and authority in every conversation and presentation. You'll stop striving for perfection and start speaking from a place of strength and assurance. Register now at tiffanydsantana.com/events or click the link in the show notes. Your most powerful voice is waiting to be heard. Let's unlock it together.